Alright guys, update on the race car. So I got that block all torn down, and there's the one that came out of it, and here's the built one from the other shop. Got it all wrapped up, transported here. So I'm going to start working on this now, and I'm going to go ahead and untape it all, unwrap it, take the transmission off of this, get the clutch out of there, and take all the crank parts off of it. We're going to take the radiator relocator kit off and that. We're going to save that water pump, but we're not going to use it. And then going to start putting all the motor mounts on it and get this bad boy ready to go in. So the first thing I had to do, I had to go ahead and take out the oil pressure sensor that was here. And this one right here, you have two. This is where my oil temperature sensor goes. So we come over here to this one, and I've taken it out. And this piece right here is part of the oil sensor kit. This is going to get threaded into there. And right now what I have to do, I have to take this pressure sensor off, so I can go ahead and put this T on there to where it still has the stock pressure sensor, and then this piece here gets threaded into that for my mechanical fuel pressure. So I'll get fuel pressure here, and then I'll get, oil pressure here, and then I'll get oil temperature here. So that's what we got to do now. So what I have to do, I got to clean all the oil out of these threads so I can put some gray RTV in there just to make sure it seals. Got this all put in. Had to go in here with an 1/8 inch pipe thread tap and go ahead, got that in there, got it all RTV'd in, that in there, and the new pressure sensor, and that right there for the oil temp sensor. Alright, so we got the clutch clutch looking good, aluminum flywheel. Inside the bell housing looks pretty clean in there. I just had this thing apart not too long ago, so no reason why for any of it to be bad. Throwout bearing looks good, nice and smooth. Now all we gotta do is take the pressure plate off, inspect the disc, take the flywheel off, mount that bad boy up. So I just found this when I took the transmission apart. You come around here and you look at all of these tabs. So you got one here, and here, and here. I believe what these are part for the crank trigger for the ignition. And you come over here and you look at this. That is all chewed up. So what happened, this one up here, that one broke. And kind of messed that up. You can see where it chewed it up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the flywheel off, take this out right here, and I'm gonna see if I can make something that will work. So that's where the carnage looks like. And I think what I'm gonna have to do is, or at least I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna test, make sure these are magnetic, and then I'm gonna try to cut this piece of plate steel and copy one of these, clean this up, and go ahead and put one in there. Okay, well, there it is. This is the only piece that's left from the broken one, and this is the one right beside it. So I'm gonna sit here and try my best to make something very similar to that. Man, that's gonna be tough. Alright, so we got the piece of steel here all marked out. Got the center punch where I'm gonna drill my hole. Got the first drill bit, and I'm gonna go along and progressively drill it larger and try to copy that. Well, got it made. Now I just got to clean it up and make sure it fits. All done. Hold them side by side. They look pretty decent. I'd say we can rock with that. On top of one another. Look pretty good. Look pretty dead on. Let's go see if it fits. So that's the messed up spot. And we've got this one over here. So what I thought about doing, oh, that fits beautifully, is just putting that right in there. It's gonna sit like so. And come over here and see if this one fits in here. It's still got a little bit of build up in there. I think I could hammer it in there, honestly. But I'm gonna take all these out and put blue Loctite on them. So it is what it is. Hopefully it'll never come out again. Oh yeah, there it goes. Cool. But yeah, all this was rolled over pretty bad. So I'm hoping that it'll work. If not, I'll have to order some new ones. This is what the crank trigger ended up looking like. If you can tell, there's a crack right there on the neck. Right there, there's a crack. And then it more or less obliterated the end of it. So that's probably a big reason why the engine wouldn't run or fire or whatever the case may be, along with the valves. So kind of sucks. Okay, so we got it all cleaned up and got it all fixed, so I'm happy about that. Look at that side, got all the crevices cleaned up, got that all back polished up, shiny, nice and clean. I took all of these out, that Allen, all the way around, and blew out the holes and cleaned the original thread sealant on it, and then went ahead and put some blue Loctite on it. And as you can tell, there was the one that I made, and there is the one, the original style. You can kind of tell what it did. Hurt my feelings, really. But 'tis what it is. That's pretty smooth in comparison. I might have to just file that a little, just to make sure nothing dumb happens. But I'm happy with it. Nice and filed. So that one's flush. That was a original one. I went ahead and just filed it smooth, and got that one all filed smooth. Alright guys, so it's the following day. I'm gonna go ahead and start putting everything in, put everything together, take the cherry picker out, hook it up to the engine, put the clutch on, get all that mounted up. I'm gonna turn time lapse on and enjoy the video.
You take a paper and start making me. Every step is major. Try to be focusing, and of course it hurts every fault you make, but I know for what it's for my own sake. I'm a paper blind, wind is throwing me across the sky. Thanks to you, at least I can fly. I'm a paper blind. This is what you've done to me, but thanks to you, turbulence doesn't scare me anymore. All ups and downs, they are all my wind waves. paper plane. Wind is throwing me across the sky. Thanks to you, at least I can fly. I'm a paper plane. This is what you've done to me, but thanks to you, turbulence doesn't scare me anymore. Why did you teach me how to fly, but forgot that I should land? I'm a paper.
As you can see, we got the front covers put on. We've got a new throwout bearing put inside the transmission. The whole shifter fork, or the fork and everything is all cleaned up. A little bit of grease on the shaft there. Now, what I'm showing you here, I just looked on that transmission right there. So you have the dowel pin here that is supposed to line up with the block, and then you have another dowel pin on the block on this side that's supposed to line up with that hole. Well, this block already has the dowel pin in it, so I have to try to get the dowel pin out of this or get the dowel pin out of this. I'm not really sure which one's gonna slide out easier, but one of them's got to come out, so that's what we're gonna try to do now. What I'm thinking about doing is just taking a blowtorch here and just heating this up just to where the aluminum expands. And then once I can grab that with a pair of vice grips, I can probably tap it off. So that's what we're gonna give it a try. Well, as you saw, we got it out. So that's all nice and good. There's the hot dowel pin right there. And now we're just gonna take this one, clean it up with a file, and that way it'll go on a little bit smoother so we don't get no drag. But I've got all my holes clean for all my bolts. The clutch looks beautiful. Hopefully everything works flawlessly on all this, and we'll have it put in a day or two. We'll turn it back on time lapse and get this thing all mounted up, and once the transmission's mounted up, then we can move on to the next step.
You take a paper and start making me. Every step is major. Try to be focusing, and of course it hurts every thought you make. But I know for what it's for my own sake. I'm a paper plane. Wind is throwing me across the sky. Thanks to you, at least I can fly. I'm a paper plane. This is what you've done to me, but thanks to you, turbulence doesn't scare me ups and downs.
Well, we got the transmission all mounted up. Got all the bolts tight. Got the starter put on. Got the spark plugs put in. Got them torqued down. Got the coil packs in there. The shifter cable bracket. A new crank trigger. Still running the original seals in the transmission. Never really had one leak, so this is all put on and mounted and ready to get put in there. All the covers are good. All I gotta do is put the harmonic balancer on, but that goes on once the engine's in the car. So I believe I have got everything wrapped up on this thing in order to drop it into the car. I believe. And from there, I'll just mount the alternator on here and put the power steering pump up here and get the belts all ran, get the exhaust hooked up, and from there I think she'll be ready to take to J Mills and let him do all the wiring and do all the tuning on it. And hopefully we can get it all together, wrapped up in this week. I can take it to him like Friday, give him like 7 to 10 days to do everything, and hopefully we'll be able to make this race. I really, really hope so. It's going to be a whole lot to be able to make this race and actually perform well, just because there's no telling what finicky little problems we're going to run into because we changed so much. And there's a whole lot of things that I want to do to the car, but there's just not enough time. So, as you saw, I went ahead and took that safety block out here and I just put 2 little end lines for the brake lines. So hopefully I won't have a problem with the braking locking up one single back tire. Well, it's been a long day. Kind of shot this over a sequence at a different time. And it is what it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this video so I can post it up and let y'all see the progress of what's going on. And once I get that all done, I'll probably come out here tomorrow and try to drop this thing in the car. Well, thank y'all for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you want to follow the car, or if you watch any of my other videos, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Shoot me a comment in the comments if you got any questions. Y'all take care.